So today we will start another planar motion, that is the circular motion. So the circular motion is the motion of any object or any body in circular path or along any fixed path, fixed point. So this is the circular path, and this is the center. So this motion, this is now known as the circular motion. So when a body moves in a circular path, then that motion is known as circular motion. And in order to understand this motion, we have to define some more terms. So in the motion we have in linear motion, for example, in linear motion we will have a displacement. We have defined displacement, but in circular motion we will define, in place of linear, this is angular displacement. Angular displacement. Okay, here that the velocity, here we will have angular velocity. Here we have acceleration. In this case we will have angular acceleration. So these are the terms used in similar linear equations, linear equation of motion. And here in the circular motion we will have to define this angular displacement and that angular velocity and angular acceleration. And the time is same. Here we also take that time as a parameter. Here we will take that time, and sometime we will use that the time period. So let's define that angular displacement first. So first, angular displacement. So initially this is this is center O, radius is R, and this is the initial position of that body is A. After time t, that position is somewhere here. This is point B. Then this displacement, which is represented by delta theta or theta. If it is big, it's theta. When we take, let's say, smaller value, then we will denote this by delta theta. So this this delta theta, this is known as angular displacement. So this angular displacement is defined as the change in angular position of a body from A to B. So here one body is somewhere here, and after time delta t it reached to point B. And then this angular displacement, that angular change in angular position, this is defined as delta theta, and this delta theta is known as angular displacement. So if this displacement, linear displacement, is let's say delta S or delta R, what we take, then from the definition of angle, what is this? This angle is arc upon radius. Generally is angle delta theta, this is equal to the angle, it is equal to arc upon radius. If the arc is, if this is smaller, then our angle is delta theta. This is equal to delta s by r. R is the radius of this path. So delta theta, that is equal to delta s upon delta r. So that linear displacement and angular displacement is correlated with this equation. So this implies delta s is equal to delta theta multiplied by r. So the next one is angular. Second is angular velocity. Obviously, that velocity is the rate of change of that displacement with time. Rate of change of displacement. Displacement upon time is known as average velocity. So here we have to take this angular velocity. So in place of that regular displacement, we have to take angular displacement. So this is defined as the rate of change of angular displacement. This is known as angular velocity. It's known as angular velocity. It is denoted by omega. This is omega. Yes. So this is omega. Omega. So this omega, that is equal to delta theta by delta t. So basically that v, that average velocity v is equal to v2 minus v1 by t2 minus t1. Similar to here, this the delta theta can be taken as equal to theta 1 minus theta 2, theta 2 minus theta 1 by t2 minus t1. So if this is that horizontal, this is that horizontal axis, and this is that vertical one, and this angle is theta 1, and this is now theta 2. Then this delta theta will be theta 2 minus theta 1. And the time initial here to here, this the time is taken as t1 and the total time is taken as t2. Then one can write this is also equal to theta 1 minus theta 2 minus theta 1 by t2 minus t1. We can write similar to that linear velocity. So this angular velocity omega is equal to delta theta by delta t, and this is theta 2 minus theta. And the unit is unit of omega, that is equal to, this is angle. So angle is measured in radian per second. So this depends on that unit of this theta. Generally in physics we use this theta, the measurement of theta in radian. So what is radian, you should know, and the relation of radian with that degree. So what's about 1 radian? कितने को कहा जाता है? 1 radian कितने को बोलते हैं? What is 1 radian?
Pi upon 90 degree.
No.
20 degree upon pi.
No. So this theta, generally, let us see what is this 1 radian actually, how it is defined as. So 1 radian. What's about this theta? Theta is equal to arc upon radius. And here, let's say this is delta theta. So that delta theta is equal to delta s upon r. We have defined this. If both are equal, if this delta s is equal to r, or r is equal to delta s, then this delta theta, that will be equal to 1. So this delta theta, it is equal to 1 radian if delta s is equal to r. मीन्स दैट रेडियस, जितना रेडियस है उतना ही अगर कोई हमने यहाँ पे आर्क अगर कोई रख लिया,
तो क्या है?
देन दैट एंगल इज नोन एज 1 रेडियन. तो उस केस में उस एंगल को 1 रेडियन कहा जाता है. तो 1 सेंटीमीटर रेडियस है तो 1 सेंटीमीटर आर्क होगा, तो दोनों का जो रेशियो होगा दैट इज 1 रेडियन. सो एक कंप्लीट रोटेशन में, इन अ कंप्लीट रोटेशन द टोटल एंगल इज इक्वल टू, इन अ कंप्लीट रोटेशन the angle subtended at center of circle at center is equal to 2 pi radian. Okay, so the complete rotation में ये 2 pi radian के बराबर होता है. And in degree is another unit of angle, and this is equal to 360 degree. तो कंप्लीट रोटेशन में 2 पाई एंगल होता है और इन रेडियन, एंड इन डिग्री इट्स 360. सो दिस इज दैट, इफ दिस इज द स्ट्रेट लाइन, सो स्ट्रेट लाइन in the upper side 180 degree, and then the lower side there will be 180 degree. So the total angle subtended this angle in degrees, that is 360 degree. So this 360 degree is equivalent to 2 pi radian. So one can calculate 1 radian is equal to so 1 radian is equal to 360 degree by 2 pi, and this is equivalent to 180 by 5.
सर वो सस्पेंडेड एट के बाद क्या लिखा है?
सेंटर.
At center. Generally you use that relation pi radian basically to 180 degree. Many times student used to convert radian into degree or degree into radian. So generally when we use that omega, we will calculate omega, we have to take this radian as the unit of angle. So if that data is given in degree, then you have to convert it in radian by using this relation. 180 degree is equivalent to pi radian. Okay, next, so let us discuss some further in that angular velocity. So the angular velocity omega, that angular velocity omega, this is defined as equivalent to delta theta by delta t, theta 2 minus theta t. And obviously we can just subdivide it this as average angular velocity and instantaneous type terms we can use. So if this is average, and one can have, if this delta t tends to 0, then this instantaneous omega, that angular velocity will be equal to limit delta t tends to 0 delta theta by delta t, and this is d theta by. So this is this omega is equal to delta theta by delta t. So let us try to derive the relation between angular velocity and the linear velocity. The relation between linear and angular velocity. So this is that circular path. This is the center O, radius is r, and here it's the initial velocity, that is v1, and after some time its velocity becomes v2, and this is the now delta theta. This is position A, this is position B, and the total time taken in this with that is delta t. Then linear velocity is defined as linear velocity, and that is defined as v is equal to delta r by delta t, delta s, sorry, here this is delta s, and this displacement is delta s. Okay, so generally that linear velocity is defined as change in that linear displacement upon time. So here this linear displacement is a delta s, so this v is equal to delta s by delta t. Second, that angular velocity is defined as angular velocity, this is defined as delta theta by delta t, the change in angular position upon time, that is that angular velocity. These two relations are from its definition, and we have from the definition of angle, this delta theta, that arc upon radius, delta theta is equal to delta s by r. Okay, let's divide this left hand side and right hand side by delta t. So by dividing both sides by delta t, what we will have, this delta theta by delta t is equal to 1 upon r delta s by delta t. So this is equation 1, this is equation 2, this is equation 3, and this is equation 4. Now what is this? This is the delta theta by delta t, this is omega from equation 2. Delta s by delta t, this is v from equation 1. So this is equal to omega, that is equal to v by r. From equation 1 and 2. So we can directly put this delta theta by delta t is equal to omega, and delta s by delta t, that is equal to v. So what we will have, this omega is equal to v by r, v is equal to omega r. This is the relation between. Okay, in vector form, now हमने अभी तक कहीं पर भी कोई वेक्टर का नोटेशन यूज नहीं किया है. So in vector form, one can write this relation as in vector form, this phi, vector phi is taken as equivalent to r cross omega. Now we have to talk about the direction also. In form of, this is the magnitude. So the magnitude is magnitude of phi is equivalent to that magnitude multiplied by this. This is just the magnitude. So omega and r in numerical form, and when it is multiplied, then the magnitude of that v can be obtained. But the direction of this v is everywhere, here and here. This is the direction of v. It is always tangent to that circular path, and this will be the direction of v, always tangential to that circular path, and this is the direction of r. So we have to use that right hand screw rule in vector multiplication. हमने vector cross product में हमने इसका इस्तेमाल किया है. So in the right hand screw rule, if this is the direction of this velocity and that this is that r, then omega, angular velocity, that will be normal to this plane. Okay, so the direction of this omega, angular velocity, that will be normal to that plane. So mutually perpendicular direction पे होता है, तो ये right hand screw rule का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है इसमें. So the direction of omega, that is always normal to, if that this is rotating like this, if this is rotating like this, if this will rotate in clockwise direction, then the direction of that omega will be inside the plane. तीनों परपेंडिकुलर, ये इस डायरेक्शन पे हो गया, ये इस डायरेक्शन पे हो रहा है, दोनों म्यूचुअली परपेंडिकुलर हो गया, तीसरा भी म्यूचुअली परपेंडिकुलर होना है, तीसरा भी परपेंडिकुलर डायरेक्शन पे होना है. So the direction of that omega, this is just obtained from this cross product. So here this is just this follows that screw rule, a right hand rule, right hand multiplication rule, and the direction one can write. Okay, now let's calculate that acceleration. So angular acceleration. Generally, acceleration is defined as rate of change of velocity. So this we have this the linear acceleration. What we have, this is represented by A, and it is changing velocity with respect to time. V2 minus V1 by T2 minus T1. Yeah, V minus U by T. So this acceleration A, this is equivalent to delta V by delta T. But in angular acceleration, in the similar manner, can be defined as, it is represented by alpha, and this is defined as delta omega by delta T. Just we have to compare linear with circular motion. So here this is delta V by delta T, and this will be represented by alpha, and this is delta omega by delta T. So now we can also correlate this alpha and this omega. So this alpha, this is equal to delta omega by delta T, and what we have, this omega, that is equivalent to V by R. अब ये भी हम लोगों ने ड्राइव किया. So V is equal to omega R, or omega is equal to V by R. So this is equal to delta by delta T, V by R. Since R is fixed, the magnitude R is a constant, so one can write this as 1 upon R delta V by delta T. So this delta by delta T is 1 upon R multiplied by A. Or A is equal to alpha multiplied by R. Okay, so you can also write this in vector form. So in vector form, what we have, so in vector form, that V is equal to R cross omega. So this delta of V, that is equal to R plus delta omega, and by dividing this with time, that R plus delta omega by delta T, this is A is equal to R plus alpha. Simply one can derive again, you can convert this dv by dt and d omega by dt by taking this delta t tends to 0. Now here this acceleration is alpha, the angular acceleration, this can be divided into two parts. Think the situation. If this is that body and moving with a constant velocity, constant speed, not velocity, moving with a constant speed. If it's moving in the constant speed, but still its velocity is changing. Why? If this is moving in 30 meters per second, also here it is 30 meters per second. But because there is a change in the direction, this is the direction of that velocity here, this is the direction of the velocity here. And after some time, again, that velocity is 30 meters per second. The magnitude is same. This is the speed and velocity, you know. If we just take the magnitude, then this is the speed. When we consider it direction also, this is the velocity. So, if the speed is constant, here this is 30 meters per second, here also the 30 meters per second, here also the 30 meters per second, means its magnitude is constant. But there is a change in the direction. Here the direction is here, in the direction is here, in the direction. So change in direction means there is a change in its velocity. If there is a change in velocity, obviously there will be acceleration. So such type of acceleration, this is known as that tangential acceleration. Second situation ये हो सकता है, the magnitude is also changing. Here it is 30 meter per second. It becomes a 40 meter per second. It becomes a 50 meter per second. This magnitude is also changing. The speed is also changing. So there is a change in the direction as well as its magnitude. Then there will be another acceleration. So this circular motion can be divided into two forms. First, uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion means only speed is changing. Speed is constant. Sorry, the speed is constant. Velocity is change in direction. Velocity varies due to change in direction. Velocity is varying because of change in direction, but it is uniformly moving with constant speed. Second, non-uniform motion. So this is uniform circular motion, and second one will be non-uniform motion. So in this case, the speed is also varying with the direction. Yes, constantly it becomes a 30 to 40, 40 to 50 meter per second, and here this is 30 to 30 and 30 every place. A, B, C. Here this is A, this is B, and this is C. Constantly उसका मैग्नीट्यूड भी चेंज हो रहा, फास्ट होते जा रहा है. एक पत्थर बांध दिया रस्सी में और उसको घुमाते चले जा रहे हैं, फास्ट करते चले जा रहे हैं. ये कॉन्स्टेंटली घुमा रहे हैं यूनिफॉर्मली with a constant velocity. So in both cases we have acceleration. So what we have derived so far is because of this uniform circular motion, that is actually that alpha t, at. Now we will derive this, that acceleration due to non-uniform motion. So this is V1, and here this becomes V2. Okay, resultant, let us see. This is this direction, this is V1. This is V1. The second one is, let's say, second is toward this. This is V2. Just to take the direction as well as magnitude. Here this is the direction, this is V1, and now second one is this is V2. Here somewhere, let's say, here is this is let's say this is V1, and after some time somewhere here this becomes V2. Okay, so just to take this V1, this is V1. After certain time this becomes V2. Then the change will be denoted by this. This is delta. Here this magnitude is being changed. So direction तो change हो ही रहा है, magnitude भी change हो रहा है. So this delta V, V1 plus delta V is equal to that is equal to V2. So this delta V is equal to V2 minus V1. So this delta V that is equal to V2 minus V1 from the vector form. So we can have different relation, and so मैं 2 से 3 diagrams में इसको कर देता हूँ. चलिए separately let us have some separate diagrams for this concept. to observe the direction as well as just I will take 5 more minutes. So this is path number 1. This is the second one, and this is the third one. Try to make the circular path uniformly with uniform radius, and here this is that initial position. This is O, this is A, and here this is A, this is O, and here this is A. The velocity in all cases, this is V1, here its velocity is V1, and here its velocity is V2. Just I am trying to reduce its time. So this is the second point. So this is R1 and this is R2 because of change in direction. Again the magnitude is same. Circular path है तो magnitude same रहेगा, but we are showing that in form of vector. So in form of vector we are showing, then this will be R1 and this is R2 because of change in direction. Remember this. But the magnitude of R1 and R2, one can write this magnitude of R1 is equal to R2. Yeah, identical. But the change, because of change in direction, this can be denoted into different vector forms. And now this is that second point. So make here, and this is R1, this is R2, and this is that V2. Now we can take this is R1, this is R2, this is V2. Okay, so now let us complete this the vector triangle rule. So here this is moving like this and this is coming from this. So the resultant will be, this is V1 and this is V2. The resultant will be shown by this vector, this. Here this is V1, this is V2, so the resultant will be shown by this delta V. And similarly, here also the resultant will be shown by somewhere this delta V. So I should write this is delta, and the resultant is very small, and this is how I should represent this. So this is one vector, this is another vector, and this is delta. So one can write here this magnitude of this R1 and R2, that one can, this is taken as a R, and this is the delta theta, and this is the delta theta, and one can write this is delta theta. So from the definition of this angle, one can write this delta R by R is equal to delta V by V. So theta can be defined as in terms of this R and R, and also one can represent this by the ratio of velocity. So because of this vector form of this velocity. So this delta R by R, the delta R is this change, where is that one? This change delta R here to here, and this is theta. So arc upon radius. So arc is delta, and this radius is capital R. यहाँ मैं small r ले लिया क्या? This is capital R. Let's say. So this is delta R by R. Similarly, this delta V is change in velocity in each diagram, and that V is the constant velocity at a particular point, or the average one. So this delta R by R is equal to delta V by delta V. So this is one can write this equal to delta R is equal to, I should write it, or I should solve this for delta V. So delta V, that is equal to V by R multiplied by delta R, because I have to calculate acceleration. एक्चुअली वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द एक्सेलरेशन. थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन इसमें होता है. मैंने कहा कि दो प्रकार के मोशन होते हैं. एक द यूनिफॉर्म मोशन. मैंने पहले जो कैलकुलेशन किया था वो यूनिफॉर्म मोशन के लिए किया था, जहाँ पर सिर्फ डायरेक्शन में चेंज हो रहा था. तो एक रिलेशन मेरे पास आया था. यहाँ पर जो चेंज हो रहा है उसमें क्या हो रहा है कि डायरेक्शन तो चेंज हो ही रहा है, इसके साथ साथ उसका मैग्नीट्यूड भी चेंज हो रहा है. अगर मैग्नीट्यूड चेंज हो रहा है तो हमें इसको डिफरेंट वेक्टर्स के फॉर्म में लेना पड़ेगा. डेल्टा भी हमें कैलकुलेट करनी पड़ेगी. और एक और दूसरा एक एक्सेलरेशन यहाँ पर कैलकुलेट होता है, और उसके कैलकुलेशन के लिए वी हैव टू टेक द डेफिनेशन ऑफ दिस एंगल टर्म्स इन डिफरेंट डायग्राम. एंड सिमिलरली डेल्टा आर बाई आर कैन बी written equal to delta v by v. And since we have to calculate acceleration, so we have to solve it for delta v. So delta v is equal to v by r multiplied by delta r. Now we will divide this by t, delta t. So by dividing this by delta t, what we will have? So this by dividing this equation by delta t, what we will have, this delta v by delta t, that is equal to v by r delta r by delta t. And this delta v by delta t, this is written as, this is acceleration. So this is A and C. This is known as centripetal acceleration. AC, it is equivalent to v by r, and this delta r by delta t is again v. So this AC, it is equal to v square by r. Okay, so this is centripetal, and one can write this in terms of omega also. We have this v is equivalent to omega r. So this AC can be written as equivalent to omega square r. Just put this v is equivalent to omega r, एक r cancel हो जाएगा, so A is equivalent to omega square. Its direction is centered. Its direction is toward the center of this circular. That's why this is known as centripetal acceleration. हर बार देखो डेल्टा आर जिसे हम ले रहे हैं, तो हर बार डेल्टा v का जो डायरेक्शन होता है that is toward the center. So that here also this डेल्टा v थोड़ा सा डायग्राम ये हुआ है ना. So this one should draw this diagram like this. So this is the v2, this is v1. So the direction of this delta v toward the center. Diagram बनाते समय थोड़ा सा ये करना है ना. So since the direction of this delta v, this is toward the center, that's why this AC, the direction of AC is toward the center. So generally that acceleration A, first acceleration हमने लिया था, that is represented by AT, tangential position, and this is the AC. So this A, it is written as equivalent to AC square plus AT square. This is not given in detail in your book, but you should know. Okay, so that in acceleration we have two types of acceleration. One is the centripetal acceleration in non-uniform motion, where velocity also varies and the speed also varies, and second one is the constant, that uniform acceleration. This is that tangential one, and the total acceleration, that angular acceleration, is actually equal to that vector sum of this AC square plus AT square. How we know? Because this AC, the AT, the direction of AT is towards this, and the direction of AC is towards the center. तो दोनों का डायरेक्शन ये टेंजेंशियल डायरेक्शन पे है और ये इस डायरेक्शन पे है, इसलिए दोनों का जो रिजल्टेंट होता है, दैट रिजल्टेंट इज लाइक दिस. सो A is equivalent to resultant of AC square plus AT square. Okay, I think you can have that equation of motion in this also. In place of that v, you have to use omega. In place of v naught, you have to use omega naught. In place of A, you have to use alpha. And in place of S, you have to use theta. So just compare. 2 minutes लगेगा. So the equation of motion, ये complete हो जाएगा. The equation of motion. linear motion and the circular motion. In the linear motion, what we have is v is equivalent to u plus v naught plus at. So here, in place of v, we will have this omega, that's equal to omega naught plus this a is represented by alpha, so this is alpha t. Second, that displacement s is equivalent to v naught plus half at square, then plus s, that linear displacement we will have angular displacement theta is equivalent to omega naught t plus half alpha t square. Third is this is v square is equivalent to v naught square plus 2as, and here that will be omega square is equivalent to omega naught square plus 2 alpha theta. So this is the equation of motion in the circular motion. So in circular motion we have to define that angular displacement, angular velocity, angular acceleration. In angular acceleration we have subdivided in two parts. One is the tangential one, where that is speed is constant, and second one is that centripetal acceleration, where that is speed is not constant. There is a change in direction as well as change in its magnitude. Okay, so that alpha, this alpha is actually the angular, that the vector sum of that AT and AC. The direction of tangential acceleration is toward the tangential direction, and the direction of AC is toward the axis. So from the definition we can derive this relation between that angular velocity and linear velocity. We can derive that relation between angular acceleration and linear acceleration, but that relation is for tangential one. And then separately we have defined and derived the relation for centripetal acceleration. Okay, and this is the equation of motion in circular motion.
Yes, sir.
I think it's more than sufficient. Thank you.